Let's talk. Everybody wants to know what's our secret, how we flow. We're dreamers. Let's talk.
Welcome to our new. Dang it.
Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk, where music, fashion, art, culture, and lifestyle is what we like to talk about. I'm Nikita.
And I'm Sakai.
We're Les Femmes Fatales. Let's talk.
Hey, girl.
How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful. Just trying to stay out of this heat. It was triple digits here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, my goodness. How hot is it today?
Well, I haven't been outside today, but yesterday it was 108, so I'm sure it's probably around the same temperature.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm not trying to go out in there either if I don't have to.
Well, listen, here in the city, when it gets in the higher end of the 60s, everybody got their shorts on. And to me, that's still cold. You
Right.
know?
It
But
sounds cold, right?
but it's nice. We've had a couple of really nice days here in San Francisco. And I got out yesterday and got a little sunshine, took myself to lunch and walked
Nice.
around the neighborhood a little bit. They have restaurants and a few things that you can, they kind of block off the street. Sometimes they have little block
hmm
not a block party, but they'll have like um a day where they have bands and different things like that that come through. Um
Sounds
but
nice.
yeah, it's nice. I guess you
Yeah.
have to get out closer to the evenings when you get ready to do
Yeah.
stuff, huh?
Either early in the morning you should get out when it's triple digits, or in the evening. It's still going to be hot, but at least you don't have that sun beaming on you. You know.
Yeah, and that's that
Mhm.
dry heat, so it's a little different
You
than
know,
the Bay Area,
yeah.
you
But
know?
they say it's dry, but to
Yeah.
me it's like my skin is like moist. I know
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, but I understand when I say dry. But when I went to the mailbox yesterday, girl, it's like I was breathing in dry air. So I
Yeah.
get it's like it's
You're in that desert. Yeah.
in the desert, that
Yeah.
part.
I had the pleasure of welcoming the twins home about 12:30 this morning, where they participated in a track meet in New York.
That's what I
And
saw online. I was in New York, where she ran.
yes, yep,
I won.
yes,
I was
yeah, yeah,
I went to watch it a few times, girl.
you did.
Oh yeah, I kept watching it. I said, "Wait, now, where's Jessica? Which one?" I said, "There she is. There she is." Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, so that was they had a lot of fun. They got to see
Okay.
Princess and hung out with her and they actually came back talking about how much they love New York. I'm like, okay, look, don't y'all be trying to go to New York now, okay?
That's their first time going to New York.
Yes.
It was okay.
Yes, their first
It's a
time.
nice place to visit for sure.
Yes, girl. Yes. And they had a few stories that they were sharing with us, and I was sharing our story in New York where we were running down the street from a little friend that was on the other side of the street, you know?
Girl,
So
that's the part that turns me up with New York.
yeah. But they,
Yeah.
they loved they really had a good time. They were there for a few days and not too far
Okay.
from where Sakai lives. So that was really nice. I'm glad they got to hang out. And yeah, and girlfriend came back with the gold. And
Very good.
they'll be headed to the Junior Olympics in a few weeks. So
There you
that should be
go.
exciting too.
Wow, that is. I'm sure that is. I'm
Yeah.
excited for them too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we did that and I went to see Ryan Nicole and Adisha, their play called Co-Founders here in the Bay Area. And it is
Yeah.
phenomenal. They wrote it, they starred in it. And when I
Yeah.
tell you, it is just phenomenal. It is more than that. And I hope that they take it on the road and it really
gonna
just
ask
take
that.
it
Are
to
they gonna travel with
Broadway.
it?
It's that great.
Is
And
that good? Is that good?
it's
Okay.
that good, and they've worked really hard. Those queens have done a lot of work, and so I just want to say shout out to them and congratulations on the success of co-founders, and we wish you
Yes.
all the best. All the best.
Congratulations. I
Yeah,
love these little stories like that.
absolutely. So good. Here it was playing here in the Bay Area,
Yeah.
and it's sold out, so it's hard to get tickets, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were fortunate. Kev and I were able to go and see it. Um,
Yeah.
but let's talk about what we got going on too, girl.
Part.
Oh,
That part.
we got some. Go ahead,
Yeah, we
talk
got
about our show coming up. Tell them
we got a
about
show
that.
coming up. That's right. In August 8th
Yes,
in Richmond, California.
Beef.
By Bistro.
That's a cool name. I like that
I
name.
love it. I love that name. Yeah. It's hosted by Jerry Dove.
Yes.
And it's going to be other artists performing there before we get there on the 8th. I believe it's Martin Luther.
Yeah,
Gonna be
he's coming. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance, go check him out. Show him some love, support. But yeah, we'll be there on the 8th. The doors open at 7 o'clock, and you can get your tickets now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing, our music, our latest single, of course, which is I Will Always Be.
Yes.
We have a video of that song as well. So you guys can go on YouTube and check that out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, our music. Well, all our music is on all the music platforms. When you go to our website and check it out, lesfemmefatales.net.
Yes.
So, but we're excited, to come to the Bay Area. Given that we're from the Bay Area, we're about to do a show in the Bay Area. I'm loving it. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
That's going to be so fun. And we really need y'all to support our YouTube channel. That's where a lot of this stuff will be broadcast, a lot of our episodes of our podcast. We need y'all to support us, to like, share, and subscribe. Get us up to 1,000 subscribers
Please,
and more. But
Yeah.
that would be so amazing to get your support in that area. And yeah, and then you can also download our song, which is on Spotify. It has over 60,000 plays, and we're very proud of that. And folks
Yes, we
are saying really wonderful things about the song. So it is the summer jam, girl. What? It is the summer jam.
And see when they go watch the video, they'll see that it's a summer jam.
Absolutely.
Because it was a beautiful day when we shot that video. Right?
Yes, it's so
The weather was
good.
on our side for sure.
Yes. So we appreciate y'all if you would do that for us, support us in that way. And yeah, so my goodness, girl, this is going to be a great interview today. Woo! I'm so excited.
Can I say the name?
Yes, come on now. Come on.
Yes, we have Dale Anthony joining us today. We're going to be bringing him in shortly. So you guys sit back, relax. If you have any questions, just leave a comment on YouTube. I believe it is.
I think it's about that time, so we can go ahead. You lead the way, and then we'll bring him on.
Well, everybody, help us welcome the one and only Mr. Dale Anthony.
All right.
There he is.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Doing?
I'm good, man. Listen, I'm glad to be on the show. I was honored when you guys asked me. I'm like, let's do it.
Oh my gosh. So exciting.
How you guys doing?
Hey, we hanging in there. I'm trying to stay cool, stay out the sun.
Right?
Well, I know you're a little more in the inland of the Bay, right? So it's a little warm. You get that heat, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we're up here on the Delta, so it's definitely hotter. It's definitely hotter here than it is coastal by the water. So
Yeah. That's nice. I prefer the heat personally, but hey, when we get a sunny day in the city, I'm out and enjoying.
Yeah, I'm actually a cold weather person, man. I like layers. I like bundling up. I like wearing a hoodie and my sweatpants. So
Right.
But I'm not mad at the heat, though. I'm not mad at the heat.
Yeah.
Got some good weather.
Oh my God.
I was telling Sakai, that it was 108 yesterday. I was like, oh my God. I went to get my mail. I couldn't get back in the house fast enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Especially out there in Nevada. It's crazy out there. It's crazy. But I'll be back out there in a couple of weeks, so I'll be in it too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, good. So, anywho, we're gonna get this started. There's so much we want to ask you, Dale.
Oh man, I'm scared. I don't know where is this going.
It's all good. Trust and believe. It's all good.
Yeah.
All good. So, Kai, you want to get it started, girl?
Absolutely. So we got a chance to read your amazing bio, and it's just a wealth of information. But we want to talk about the beginnings of it all. Okay. So
Okay.
tell us about, let's talk about where you grew up. Okay. And then let's talk about your childhood and the earliest musical influences you had.
Okay, yeah. So I'm an Oakland boy, Oakland, California. They say if you're from Oakland, then you know how we say it, deep East Oakland. So, I lived all over Oakland, but the majority of my time is spent in on the east side. So I'm definitely happy and proud to be an Oakland boy, son of a preacher man. My dad was a minister growing up in my early stages. He still preaches to us today, even though he's not, formally working on somebody's staff. He's still preaching to us today. So, son of a preacher man. My mom, and my dad, born and raised in the church with both of them, going to church every Sunday, sometimes 3 times a week. So I'm a church kid through and through. So my earliest influences is obviously with the church and in gospel music. And yeah, man, it's beautiful. It's taught me a lot just about music in general, um, because just the heart of that musical form and what it does to people's soul and spirit helps, me to be able to appreciate and work in other forms as well, and to carry that spirit over into other forms. So yeah, my earliest influence is definitely the church culture. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Mine too, actually, and I totally relate to that. Growing up in church and that being a foundation for my musical journey as well. Singing gospel, singing.
Yeah.
In fact, it turned out to be one of the artists was Tremaine Hawkins. That was one of my first tours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
it does
Yeah.
it impacts my life to this day. Yes, we all have that in common. We grew up in Oakland and
Yeah.
the Bay, and I also on the peninsula, but the Oakland is my home too. So it's so rich, right?
Oh, yeah. Super.
And
Super.
it's
And you look at a lot of secular artists. A lot of secular artists, they'll tell you their foundation was from the church as well. So
yeah.
But you know what? I hear people say that all the time. I did go to church as a kid, but I was never in the choir.
okay.
I didn't get into the choir until I was an adult. Police team and all that.
Yeah.
But I never was in the little kiddie choir, nothing like that.
I didn't do choir either. My earliest influence was I was a drummer. So I started off as a drummer as a kid. So my mom was a member of Allen Temple Baptist Church in the heart of Oakland.
Yeah.
One of the staple churches in Oakland. And very early on, I'd say like 4 or 5 years old, I was sitting right next to the drummer.
Wow.
That was my first love. So kind of similar to you, I didn't really even start singing until probably high school. So I was really late in, when I started as well. So, but yeah, earliest influence was I was an instrumentalist. I was a drummer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you on the drums, Dale. A little bitty, because I remember when you let's see, we go way back, but and I think your mom shared with me that you did play drums, and I'm just imagining this little bitty guy on drums, just holding it down.
Yeah. She got me my first drum set when I was probably around 4 years old.
4 years old, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty young.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah, and
Sure.
in her house, it was two artists at that age. And I can remember playing the drums to these two particular artists. It was the Clark sisters, and it was Anita Baker.
Wow.
So you got
So
to both ends, right?
yeah, exactly. It was Anita Baker and the Clark sisters. What I can remember ringing through the house.
That's some good singing. That's some good singing right there.
Oh,
That
absolutely,
part. Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Now, was music something you always wanted to do? You know, and what was your early memories? Well, I guess playing drums in the church might have been your earliest memory of.
Yeah,
of
yeah. I
doing
mean,
music?
I think it was already in me.
Yeah.
I was brought into the earth with this internal desire that was already
Mm.
there, you know,
Wow. Yeah.
to be that young and kind of already start gravitating towards my destiny was pretty incredible looking back on it. And so, you know, and it's funny is I'm starting to see that in my son too. Like I'm starting to see like the things that he really has a passion for. And I'm like, I'm wondering if that's really going to take him and be the trajectory into what he ends up doing. Cause
Right.
yeah, it was the same for me. It was very early.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I've been singing. Well, I remember I remember when I was young, because I'm the youngest of 9 children, and we used to sing. I remember in the living room, we marching from the bedroom in our bathrobe. That was our choir robe, and singing. You know, all these you know, we come this forth by faith. You know,
Yeah.
for our parents. They sit on the
Yeah.
couch watching us come in, and that's what
That's
I
the
remember
way it
as a
goes.
kid. You know, and I've always remember singing as a kid like that. You know,
Yeah.
and then it went on and on. You know, so yeah, I can relate to that. You know, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's such a foundation, like I said, for me.
Yes, it
you know,
is. Yes, it is.
And there's no other music like it. It moves you in such a way that it's just, you can't do nothing but get emotional. It charges the heart in a way that is just really special, and it's always going to be a part of me, my roots. It's my roots. So
It's
that's
like we have soul food. That's our
yes.
soul music. That's our music.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So,
Mhm.
were you finished with your question, Nick?
Yes, I was. Thank you.
So, how did growing up in the church inspire and influence you on your musical journey as you move through?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it not only helped me tap into, like I said, what was already there, but helped me hone in on just the skills and kind of get the skills, you know, like you go to the gym to work out your muscles. You know, I was working out those skills every opportunity I got, you know, to play the drums. And so then that opened up doors for, you know, things outside of the church, like doing gigs and playing for other churches and just you know, honing in on that craft, man. And the more opportunities that I got to play and to, you know, better my skills, it opened up new doors, right? And so
Yeah.
then it opened up doors for me to get like into the gig circuit and, you know, doing weddings and doing corporate events and things like that. And so, you know, in the Bay, the musicians, all the musicians are a very tight knit group.
Mhm.
You're probably like 2 degrees of separation from a lot of people.
Right.
Right.
So if you're seen playing somewhere, then your name could be dropped in a lot of the circles. And like, yeah, did you know such and such? You know, not only do they play drums, but they also play bass and they play keyboard and things like that. And so you start off a lot. I know a lot of musicians that start off on one instrument
Mhm.
and then they end up playing 5, right? So,
Right.
so yeah, man, I think the church definitely helped with that. Oral skills, like being able to just play. Because in the church, like, there's no sheet music. There's no, you know, they give you the song. They give you the song on an MP3 or a YouTube or whatever, and you got to learn it and show up to rehearsal ready to go.
Wow.
And so it definitely helped with a lot of the oral skills and just you know, all those things. And it opened up doors for other opportunities. I'd say, you know, like I said. being able to make money and, travel and go on touring and things like that.
Right.
So
Mhm.
yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can relate to having they just give you the music and you have to learn it on spot.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
then going
Oh yeah.
to Sakai, as you well know, like at Narda Studio, Tarpon
Oh
Studio.
yeah.
We did that so many times.
Yeah, you're talking about shaping you up.
Fast forward,
Mhm.
we got with the band Train. We just learned that stuff just like that.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
it prepares you for other things.
1,000%. And
Yeah,
I
it
would
really does.
I would attribute that to the church because
Mhm.
you just get thrown in, and
Yeah.
you sink or swim kind of thing. And so
Right.
it helps you build those muscles, and it makes your craft, makes your skill set better for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Well, fast forward now. I know when you graduated from high school. We're going to fast forward a little bit here.
Yes,
I know you went to college.
I did.
You didn't go to just any college. Now I want you to share with us the name of that school and why you chose it.
Sure. So I went to a lot of people don't know it as Cal Arts. So the full name is the California Institute of the Arts. It's Walt Disney's Performing Arts School in Southern California. Beautiful experience. Oh man, probably four of the most impactful years, I'd say, as far as developing my skills and my career is concerned. For sure. Um, I was looking at a couple of other schools on the East Coast. Looked at Juilliard, I looked at Berkeley and Boston and things like that. I think at the time I didn't want to leave home. I didn't want to be that far from home.
Right.
And even though I love cold weather, I don't want to be snowed in. So Boston just wasn't a thing for me. So I was like, I started looking, close to home, and I came across Cal Arts, California Institute of the Arts, and that's where I ended up. Yeah, man, it was an amazing experience. I applied I auditioned for a scholarship on drums. They had a program called the MAP program, the Music and Performance Program. And it was a program where you could go in as a multi-focus. So if you, like we talked about those musicians that play multiple instruments, if you do multiple things, you could apply for a scholarship for this particular program. So I applied for the program, I got the scholarship, and that's where I ended up. And what's funny is I went as they called it MAP program student for drums and vocals. When I did my vocal audition, one of the professors or one of the directors in the vocal department kind of pulled me to the side. I was like, "Hey, do you want to just come and do vocal program full time?" It's like, "Okay, you gonna give me some more money?"
Right.
So that's how I got recruited. It ended up being just a vocal performance major full time, and that's how I graduated with my vocal performance degree.
Oh wow. Now, did you know anybody there when you got there? Anybody you knew? You knew nobody there?
I didn't. No, I didn't know anybody there. All my friends were going to Berkeley.
You are phenomenal, Dale, for real.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, it truly has.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Love your work. Let's talk about your career as a gospel artist. When and how did you get your professional start?
Right after college. I was inspired by just what I picked up there and some of the relationships I made. And I did a little bit of writing, I think my last year while I was there. And yeah, it definitely inspired me to try to take a stab at writing some music. And when I graduated, 2009, I went back home and, worked for my church that I grew up in, and just kind of started scribbling down some music and, getting in that space where God can kind of speak to me and allow the Spirit to kind of move me in the way that it did. And I started scribbling down some lyrics and started scribbling and working on some melodies. And I went and grabbed a few of my closest friends and say, "Hey, Sing this real quick. Let me hear what it sounds like, because I need to let me conceptualize it and see, what it actually sounds. Because it sounds good in my head, but I don't know if
It always sounds good to us, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna sound good coming back at me. Like like when you as a singer, well, maybe you don't know because your voice is flawless. So, but like sometimes when you
Yours
sing.
is flawless.
Now, sometimes when you sing on a track and you listen back to it, it's like,
Right.
it's like, no, I don't want to hear that. So yeah, no, I grabbed some of my closest friends and was like, hey, just sing this for me and let me hear what this sounds like. And it started to sound like something. And so I think in 2011, so this was like 2 years after I graduated.
Yeah.
I grabbed some of my closest friends and wrote a bunch of music and taught it to them, and we started learning it. And I think in 2012, that's when we went in and did the first project.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you sorry.
Who should I say was the first gospel artist you worked with, professional? Gospel
Ooh,
artist.
good question. First professional gospel artist that I worked. Well, so okay, so
I know one of them.
I may be a little biased, and this group is a globally known professional group, but somebody that's very close to me, Terrence Kelly, in the Oakland Interfaith Gospel Choir.
Yes, I know. Yes.
That's probably the first gospel artist that I wrote for and worked with. I did a song called "Still Standing" on their. I think the album is called "Hear My Prayer." And the great Lena Bird Miles sung that song. And yeah, man, that was my first first kind of dipping my feet in the professional and writing for other artists and things like that. So yeah, that was a great experience. But yeah, Terrence is like a godfather to me. Like
good person, very good person.
Yeah, man. He helped me a lot and showed me a lot of the ropes as far as like choral conducting and choral arranging and things like that. I picked up from him. So yeah,
you learned from one of the best, that's for sure.
But yeah, man. Wrote a bunch of songs and got my friends to sing it, and we went in and did the Faith Out Loud project.
That CD is phenomenal, for real.
Thank you.
Now, some of my favorites on there, I Can Depend on You is on there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, love it. And I don't know what the young lady's name is.
That's the song we also did on the Oakland Interfaith. So I know Lena did it on there. Who did it on the Faith Out Loud? Oh, I think Leilani Yates Hayes did.
Her voice is angelic. I just love her voice. Love it.
Yeah.
You did your thing on that CD.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But that wasn't the only CD you did. What's the other CDs you've done?
Yeah. So after that one, we did a single, "Praises Hurt." Yeah. That was really fun, and then we put out the sophomore album called "Closer." I think that was we did that in 2017. Yeah. And then after that, we did a few singles: "Walking in Freedom," "Great God," "Light in You," and then the last project we did was called "Soul Sessions." We did that one in what's this, 25? I think that was 22. Yeah.
Now, you're writing. Do you write alone, or do you have co-writers, or that you collaborate with?
Mostly it's me. But the last album for sure, and the singles we did before the last album is when I was introduced to my now producer, who is my right-hand man. Like all of the last projects you've seen from me since, I'd say, 2018. My boy Brandon has been on me with, and so now him and I co-write a lot of material. Him on the music side, and then me on the lyrical side. So yeah, man, that's like my right hand man. Like he's been with me for a while now, and it's kind of like when you find that chemistry, it's like it just works. Yeah.
Okay. And now when you do your song, the singers that you have on there, because you have some phenomenal singers,
thank you.
Females and males on there. Are they Bay Area singers? Or you get them from other places, other states or cities?
Yeah, so everything Everything I've done up to the Soul Sessions project has been all my Faith Out Loud team here in the Bay. Soul Sessions I recorded in Dallas, so that project actually has some phenomenal singers from Dallas. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You guys doing your thing on that one, man.
Well, thank you.
And I know one time you did a concert in Oakland at this, I think it's a church and a school. I want to say it's maybe an elementary school, a middle school. What's the name of that place?
Oh, yeah. That is, what's the name of it? So that's where we did the release concert for the Faith Out Loud project. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time I seen you sing, perform, and I was sitting in my seat, like mouth wide open, like what? It just blew me away, Dale. I had no idea. But your mother shared with me that she was shocked at your graduation. You gave us production, know, and she was just blown away.
Yeah,
I wish I would have saw that. Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. That is.
I remember that. You don't want to know a funny story about that? So that was my, I think my 8th grade promotion or 7th grade promotion. So back then it was different. Like junior high was 3 grades. I think it was 6th, 7th, 8th.
Yeah.
And then you went to high school, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So I think that was my elementary promotion. So anyway, regardless of what it was, I had gotten in trouble that day at school. And I had gotten called to the principal's office. I don't know what I did, but I was in hot water. They called my mom up there, and she was livid. But this was the same day as the promotion, so she didn't know I was going to be singing at the promotion. So we got to the promotion, and I forget what song it was I sung, but they asked me to sing it, and so I sung it. And it was almost like my get out of jail free card because she was so taken aback because she had never heard me sing. And neither did I, to be honest. I didn't even know there was anything there. So it was totally my get out of jail because it was almost like she forgot that I was in the principal's office that day. We got home. It was all gravy. I was like, oh, you just forgot. So here's what I'm going to do. Whenever I get in trouble, I'm just going to sing my way out of it. That's what I'm going to do.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. I remember that day like it was yesterday.
Wait, look, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yep. And do you know who my music teacher was then? You remember Janice Reed, Miss Reed?
Yeah, she's a sister.
Yes. Yes. That was my music teacher at St. Leo's. I was at St. Leo's elementary school. Yep. She helped me get out of trouble that day.
Oh, that was nice of her. She's good people too, So
absolutely.
That's a surprise.
Well, we remember your incredible performance at SF Jazz, and it was so incredible. And I love the journey. I love the video images and the how you put everything together, how you told your story. How beautiful. That was just, it was just incredible to see you perform. Yes.
Soul Sessions was my most introspective, my most vulnerable album. Because it is exactly what the album title is. It was my soul session. So you think about therapy sessions, and that's why the cover is me, like in a therapy session, there laying on the couch, because it was a really tough time for me. Those a couple of years leading into the production of that album, and I had to really do a lot of soul searching and some actual physical therapy, and going to actually talk it out and talk to somebody. So. That was what you witnessed, was just that journey that I had gone through that time. So yeah, man.
It was
such an energy. It was a great show, great performance, and the music was just everybody was great.
Thank you.
It was so honest, and authentic and vulnerable, as you mentioned, and that's the way you touch the audience, and that's what is so special, and they're so important too, I think in our performances that when we show up that way, just being vulnerable through whatever is happening in the moment, you're touching folks and. And it was such a joy to finally be able to see you,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Was that your first time, Sakai?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was my first time seeing him. And we know that you've had all these amazing things that you've done. You're also just so involved in the community. I heard you talking a little bit about it earlier, Faith Out Loud, and how you were inspired
Mhm.
by and how that all came about with your album. But tell us about your organization. Tell us more about
Yeah.
your
Yeah, Faith Out
foundation.
Loud Foundation. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
again, it's all just under that umbrella of, living your faith out loud. How do we live our faith out loud, and what does that look like?
Yeah.
Helping those that can't help themselves. And so,
Mm-hmm.
also very early on, in my conversations with God and how I was going to get into this whole artistry thing is I told God, like, I wanted to be authentic, and I also didn't just want to be just an artist, right? I wanted to be somebody that left an impact, and of course our music will live on. Us writers, those that write and produce music, your music will live on far after you, but who are you impacting right now in the moment tangibly, right? And so that's why I wanted to simultaneously have the music and also the outreach, and do Faith Out Loud Foundation, where, once a month we just go out and perform random acts of kindness. It's going out, and I may just go out and buy 20 pizzas and go hand them out to the homeless
Yeah.
people, or we'll go shopping for some clothes, or pool clothes and get donations, and just go put goodie bags together and help people. Or it could be a lot of different things, but just getting out there and showing the love of God and showing the love of Christ that He put inside of me, and trying to reflect the light and the love, and not just sing about it, not just perform on a stage about it, but actually be about it and get out there and touch somebody, like, because they'll remember that, and they will feel that impact a lot more than maybe they would just playing a song on Spotify. So I definitely wanted to definitely leave an impact in that way and help people.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful work that you do.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Now, I know that you've traveled abroad. Can you tell us more about that? How you shared your musical gift and knowledge in
Yeah,
the process of doing that?
absolutely. I go back to my musical mentor, Terrence Kelly. He's the one that got me into the whole touring life, and traveling abroad and overseas.
Yeah.
My first trip with him was to Costa Rica. I was probably, how old was I? Probably still a teenager, maybe like 19
Yeah.
or 20. And we went to Costa Rica and did some mission work, and did a music camp for a church in Costa Rica, and that was an amazing experience.
Wow.
And that was very early on, and then helped him create this. What is it called? I think it's called the International Gospel Academy. Yeah, International Gospel Academy that happens in Denmark every year. So that started maybe like 10 or 15 years ago. And what that is we go over to Denmark, and I mean, whether you guys know it or not, like the gospel choir uh, industry, or like that whole thing over there is very, very heavy. Like, they really get into gospel choir, and it's gospel choir. Like, you go over there trying to do ensemble stuff or contemporary stuff, they're like, nah, where's the choir music? They want to sing gospel choir stuff. So yeah, started the gospel. So along with Terrence and another assistant director for that used to be the assistant director for Oakland Interfaith Gospel Choir, Paul Kim. He ended up moving to Denmark, and brought us over there to start the International Gospel Academy. And we would go over there once a year, and it would be 2 weeks. The first week would be in Denmark, and we would do basically a workshop, a gospel music workshop for a week in Denmark. And then the second week would be in a different country. So, it could be in, England the second week, or in Spain, or in wherever, France. We've done the south of France once. So yeah, it's super fun. It's a lot of fun to get over there and share this music that we love with, people that are not from where we're from, and they have a different different dialect and they, different accent and different ways of life and everything. It's just really good to get over there and share in that love for gospel music.
Wow, that's awesome. I know that experience was just, mind blowing to say the least.
Yeah.
That's something you're still doing, still doing that?
Yeah. We haven't done it in the last, I want to say, couple of years, but it definitely still going on. We'll probably get back in the swing of things. I know they took some time off because of COVID, so just trying to get things back in order and back in the swing. Yeah.
Do you like traveling like that? Do you love?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I love traveling too.
Yeah.
Have you ever did a tour? Were you on a tour bus?
No, I've never done a tour bus. No, I've never done a tour bus.
Yeah.
No. I would like to, though. I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I love traveling, period. Whether it's train, flying, road trips. Like, I love road trips. So, any kind of traveling. I like it.
Yeah, me too. As long as I'm not driving.
Yeah, I don't mind driving.
Oh, no. No. I enjoy the tour. I think you would really enjoy the tour bus,
Yeah. Do you got beds on there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They're like bunk beds.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's comfortable, but, you got to get the foam thing. At least I had a foam mattress I put on top of the mattress, but they kind of
right. Yeah.
give me some cushion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the guy she may have another story about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't mind tour. We did that almost 12 years straight. It's fun. It's a fun experience, but I don't sleep very well. Okay.
Yeah.
So any little, I'm looking out. I'm like, look, do I need to go up there and check on the driver? If something's doing this, oh yeah. I'm like,
you got to do that, though.
oh my gosh. So I'm very light in the sleeping area. And so, I really wouldn't sleep until we got to the next venue, and then it was time for sound check. But then, it's a whole different world, but nonetheless, being able to travel abroad, whether it's planes, trains, or automobiles, it's still such a beautiful experience because I've been on short tours. I've been on, the longer tours, obviously, with, our being band members of Train for all those years, but it's really fun.
It's experiencing other cultures. I enjoy experiencing other cultures, right?
Yeah.
Even traveling throughout the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can go to the East Coast and it's a totally different culture than California.
Absolutely.
Right? So I enjoy learning and sharing in other cultures. Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Well,
places. I don't remember a lot of places we went to.
Gosh.
Until I look at a picture or something and say, "Oh, that's right, we went there."
I think we've done all 50 states. I want to say Alaska was the last one we covered. I think we covered every
last one. Was that the last one?
Remember, in 20, that was our last tour out, 2023. And we landed and it was broad daylight at like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, wow.
That was really trippy. That was quite an experience. And I'm glad that we got to do that, your body clock is all thrown off, but
that
was really, it was beautiful.
Yes. You experienced that, right?
Oh, 1,000%, especially going overseas.
Oh my goodness.
It's like an 8-hour difference. And sometimes I think like the first few years we did it, we went during their daylight savings. So when we got there, it was like an 8-hour difference. But then like the next day, it became a 9-hour difference because of daylight savings. So I was like, it was.
That struggle is real. That struggle. A jet lag struggle.
Yeah, but thank God we were there long enough for, my body to get acclimated to being there. Yeah.
Right.
I think just even traveling, sometimes we'd be in 2 and 3 states. I mean, like, we're performing here, the next night we're in a whole different state, it's like, and then take a plane, get on and be out the country the next day and then come back. Whoa. Your brain is all over the map doing that kind of travel,
Sometimes it didn't really hit me until that I was tired until really I got home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
You know, you're just constantly going.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's the life of a rock star,
That's
right?
it. That's it. That's it.
Or a gospel singer, you know.
Yes.
That's it.
So incredible.
Yeah.
Dale, your
Love it.
journey is just amazing. We've
Mhm.
got the opportunity to witness your fatherhood, you becoming a father, and it's just been so incredible. You have beautiful babies, and
Thank you. Thank you.
it's just
Thank you.
that's just such a beautiful journey to see you succeed in that area as well. You've done so many things with your career and music and all. What's next? What you got? What you got coming up? What you're planning?
Oh, you talk about fatherhood, man. It's what's next is just trying to get him to stay asleep at night. If I could just do that, I think I'll be okay.
I know, because you got tiny ones. Oh my gosh.
My
Yeah.
daughter, man, I'm waiting for her to turn the corner. Like, just stay asleep.
Mhm.
Like, she wakes up 3 o'clock in the morning talking about, I want muffins. Like, muffins? What's muffins at 3 o'clock in the morning? If you don't go back to sleep. But no, yeah, they're beautiful. Yeah, man, I'm enjoying fatherhood. What's next?
Mhm.
So my hands are in a lot of different pots. Me and my wife, we're serial entrepreneurs, so
Mhm.
we're always starting new projects. But yeah, musically, I'll stay on that. I'm writing for a couple of other independent artists right now, which I'm excited about. I got an artist out of Dallas that is doing a recording at the end of this year that I was fortunate to write a couple songs for. Another artist who I won't say yet because it's not, we haven't fully gotten the stuff worked out, but another artist who I'm very excited to have the opportunity to write for. Excuse me, I'll just say she's the daughter of a gospel legend.
Mhm.
And so super excited to work with her, the potential to work with her. So yeah, writing for artists right now, and also just kind of dipping my toe into other opportunities outside of gospel. So like I mentioned, talked about my producer, Brandon, he has a lot of things that he's involved in, and he's kind of brought me into which that's the beauty of our partnership is we look out for each other. So anything that I'm working on, I bring him in on, and anything stuff that he's working on that I could help him, he brings me on. So we're getting into sync music, and writing for some potential sync opportunities. So
Wonderful.
that's exciting.
Sync music.
Yeah. So sync music. So like when you're watching TV and you hear a Clorox commercial,
Mhm.
like the music that's played on advertisements or
Mhm.
on TV shows or
Yeah.
movies or anything like that. So to get placed in those
that's
different arenas, there's a few companies out there, but one particular that my boy's working for, and he's working on some sync music, and so I've been fortunate to kind of help him write, for some of those sync opportunities. So yeah, man, just trying to see what else I can get going
that's
here.
Right. I know that's right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that that's like same thing as jingles. Is that the same thing?
Similar, yeah, similar. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
I did a jingle years ago, a Taco Bell jingle.
Okay.
Years
Yeah.
ago. And it's something I've always wanted
Excuse
to do as well as, but it's, that was just something referral kind of thing. So,
me. Yeah.
but it hasn't happened since, but I'm hopeful, getting that arena again. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, it is. It's definitely stretched my writing. Because I used to always tell my wife, like, can't really I had never tried, but when I got to the point where I did want to try, I was like, I can't write anything that's not about my love for God. Like I don't know how to do that. And so it's definitely been stretching me, and getting out of but the theme of love is kind of where I've been situated to start writing and things like that. So yeah, man, it's been stretching me out of my comfort zone.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you got, change is good. Sometimes,
Diversify.
Yeah, but you'll never get too far away from, what's around you.
No, absolutely not.
You know,
That's at the core. That's at the core. That's always at the core.
yeah, because I'm looking forward to seeing, you do your thing, Dale Anthony, Think Out Loud singers, and, that's amazing. So you look forward to it again. Now, you have answered some questions, and you mentioned some of the things that I was going to ask you already, but I'm going to ask you to say it again.
Okay.
Your husband,
yes,
your father, and
Yes.
I've been knowing you for a long time by way of your mother, who was a great dear friend of mine, my sister. We go way back. We were 9 years old when we met. He's still, one of my BFFs who I love dearly. And we also, you and I, we share something else in common. We have the same birthday. Same birthday. May 16th. Right?
Yeah.
Now, tell me, with being a husband, father, how do you balance your career with that?
Yeah, no, that's a good.
Balance it.
No, that's a great question. So I gotta shout my wife out right here, man. Shout out to her. She's probably watching. So shout out to my wife, man. She's been with me the entire journey. From the very beginning. She's been right there with me, and just having somebody like that is there to keep me lifted and to lift me up and support me in multiple different ways. Time, understanding. Like there's been times where I've had to travel or be away on a birthday or an anniversary, or I have to work on an anniversary, things like that. Just the understanding and the belief in me that she's had to allow me to pursue my dream in music and things like that. Like I couldn't thank her enough. So a very much shout out and kudos and love for her for being there to support me through. And so, and she also has projects and skills that, that she has within her as well. She's a writer as well. And so she wrote a book and has become an author. And so, now I'm able to kind of, especially with the kids now, I'm able to kind of step back and allow her to spread her wings, right? And so after the last project I did, I made a commitment to her and said I was going to take the following year off from music, and I was just going to allow her, not allow her, but support her in whatever she wanted to do. And I think that was the year that she wrote the book. And put out a phenomenal book just about our conception journey, and amazing book. And now she's even into ghostwriting. She's doing her thing. And so, we support each other, and we're there to lift each other in, the areas that, we are both working to pursue our dreams. So, and then we also have businesses that we run together. And so, it's a total complete partnership. I'm blessed to have her, and I'm blessed to have, my kids, and, it's been beautiful.
Wonderful. Yeah. So what would you say was the most challenging to making it all work for you? Is it anything that's challenging for you with your music and trying to balance it? What's been the most challenging?
Well, I think it was just getting past just the kind of the frustrations of the music industry, and how insulated it can be, and how we don't like to believe that there are gatekeepers, but there are gatekeepers. And if you don't move in certain circles, or if you don't, abide by their rules, or, join their fraternity, so to speak, then you're kind of on the outside looking in. And, it kind of sucked, and it was frustrating. And, I'm not very good at promoting myself. So then here comes the whole social media movement, and, having to navigate the algorithms, and, you post something and it doesn't do as well as you hoped it would. It's just, all of that stuff can start to weigh on you. But, at the end of the day, you just look back and go, what am I doing this for? And that is to inspire somebody. If 5 people listen to Soul Sessions, and, I get that one message in my DM saying, listen, I was on the brink of suicide. I was ready to take this whole bottle of pills, but I listened to Soul Sessions and your story is my story. And it helped me get through. Like, those are the type of things that I start to lean more on versus trying to be included in a fraternity or an industry, right? And so, yeah, once I got past that, and that's a mental thing. Once I got past that, then I was able to start soaring. Sorry.
I was gonna say it's so beautiful and it's so true. As artists, Nikita and I, we're doing music too. So obviously, we experience some of the same frustrations and things. But when you understand your purpose, when you understand your why, when you understand the reason, it takes it to a different level of of giving, of giving your gift, of sharing your gift, of changing lives and all those things. So we totally relate. And I think you're just so phenomenal in so many ways, successful music career, successful family life, and your businesses and the things that you're doing, have a beautiful wife. And it's just a joy to watch you two really
Thank you.
yes, just thrive in doing so well. So
Shout out to my wife, man. She holds it down. She, especially with the parenting thing, she has a lot more patience than me.
I've seen you in action. You got some good patience. I've seen you in action. In action with your children. They are so adorable.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Ian and Ivy there.
Yeah, that's them. Thank you.
Yeah. So before we let you go, we want you to share with us and the viewers how to reach you, your platform to reach you on, so they can hear your music and see. Keep up with what you got going on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on all of the digital music streaming platforms. So Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, iHeart, Pandora, whatever your platform of choice is, you can find Dale Anthony music there. You can type in Dale Anthony, or you can type in Dale Anthony and Faith Out Loud. You'll find me on any of those searches. Instagram, I'm on Instagram, Dale Anthony. Facebook, I'm on all the platforms. So yeah, my website www.daleanthonymusic.com.
Well, you know what?
Check it.
Viewers, that's real easy because it's his name, Dale Anthony.
There you go.
You miss it, right?
There you go.
Well, Dale, it has been a pleasure having you. With us on Let's Talk.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, for sure. You have it's just amazing. I just love it. I'm looking forward to hearing more things from you. Just keep, continue with love and blessings to you and your family.
Yes.
Thank you. You're my family because,
Absolutely.
I know your mama, Terry.
Oh yeah.
You guys, you got all that love and support behind you. Like I said, continuous love and blessings from Sakai and I. And you guys, just take care. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yes. Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much. It's so beautiful. Thank you again, Dale.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Let's talk. Everybody wants to know what's our secret, how we flow. We're dreamers. Let's talk.
Welcome to our new. Dang it.